Welcome to PlayPianoToday.com. This is video overview number 1 of 2, taken from Chapter 1 of the Piano Lessons course titled How to Match Chords Up with Any Melody. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at a subject that every serious musician has got to master: how to take any given melody that you hear and choose the right chords to go with it. You might be surprised at the number of different angles you can take to come up with the right answer. You might be surprised at the number of different answers that are right, too. This lesson is going to be in different sections. In this first section of the lesson, we're going to start with using simple 3-note chords or triads to go with any given melody. And we're going to look at different ways to come up with what those triads should be. But then in following sections of this same lesson, we're going to go further with things like secondary dominants and passing chords and higher chord extensions like 9ths, 11ths, 13ths, that sort of thing. So there's really an amazing depth of study that this subject contains. But let's start just with a quick example. What if you took this simple melody? Everybody knows the song Amazing Grace, kind of around the world. I'm going to play 2 versions for example's sake. First, I'll simply play the melody in my right hand and simple basic triads in my left hand. It's a great way to begin. But then in the second version, I'll throw lots of the advanced techniques in there. You'll see a lot of secondary dominants, or maybe you won't understand what that is, but you will by the end of this series. You'll see some passing chords, some higher extensions, some chord substitutions, the whole kitchen sink. So again, we're studying how you can know which chords you can add to any given melody. Let's start with a very simple example. Because this is just a quick overview of the full lesson, let's go ahead and move further along. Let's take a look at kind of a blowout version that's got a lot of those advanced techniques in there with the same melody. And remember, I'm just trying to give you a quick example here. Then we're going to dig in. Now, the skill of learning how to find out which chords go with any given melody might seem like a very mysterious skill that's been given to only a few select musicians on the planet. Of course, if you have a lead sheet or a chord chart or even a piece of sheet music with every note written down, things are really easy. But what do you do when nothing is written down? What do you do when the only thing you have is a melody in your head? Maybe you heard it on the radio, or a friend showed you a song and said, hey, can you put some chords to this? What do you do if you have no idea which chords fit with that melody? The great news is that there are some really specific ways that you can go about learning which chords can be added to any given melody. Now, before we dig into the techniques that you can use to match up chords with different melodies, the first thing you have to do is to find out the key that a song is in. Now, the concept of finding what key a song is in involves learning to find the tonic of the song. Now, the tonic is nothing more than a music theory term that refers to the note that is the most important or significant note in the song. Some music theory teachers call this tonic note the home base or the resting note of a song. Now, there have been a lot of things written down and videos shot and programs written about how to find the tonic note, but I'm going to show you something extremely simple. Now, this is an amazing thing. It works maybe 9 times out of 10. Now, you're going to find some exceptions, but this is really simple. Again, because this is an overview, let's jump ahead in the full lesson now to the section where we're looking at how to find the key of a song. Now, finding what key the song is in is a very common thing you'll hear musicians say. To find the key of a song, you need to find two things. You need to find the tonic note, like we did in this last song and in a few of those example songs. Then you need to find the mode of the song. Now, if you've been a musician for a while or around musicians, you're bound to hear the term mode. In fact, some musicians really dive into modes in a big way, and they explore all of them. And there's many different modes available. And you'll see these guys, they'll kind of become mode heads. They'll learn how to do a different mode for every chord, and they'll use them to create these incredible solo lines. And it really is a valid technique, but it's really complicated. But it's actually a very interesting study. Now, having said all that, we're going to talk about modes too, but we're just going to talk about two of them. The two most common modes in Western music. There are the major and the minor modes. Now, I bet you've heard of major and minor modes. Usually they'll say major key or a minor key. Let's take that last song as an example. We found the tonic note, which was D. And now, to find the key of the song, remember we need to find two things, the tonic note as well as the mode. So now we need to find out whether the mode of the song is major or minor. Now, once again, good news, this is usually a pretty painless process. Of course, there are exceptions, but this general rule will usually work in the vast majority of songs. Take the last musical phrase of the song, as we used to long ago. Remember I sang through that? When you get to the last note of the song, try forming a major chord based on that tonic note and see if it sounds correct. Here we go. As we used to long ago. Sounds okay, doesn't it? Now, if it doesn't sound correct, try a minor chord. See how that sounds. This is going to sound awful. As we used to long ago. Oh. The reason it doesn't work is because the melody has a third in it. That's an F sharp. And this chord has an F natural. And you get that lovely sound. All right, that's bound to make you mad. As we used to long ago. So we're pretty sure that the mode of this song is major. So now we found the tonic note, we found the mode. Now you know the key of the song. It's a solid D major. On the next page, in part 2 of this overview, we'll study another section from the full lesson, where we're looking at the question, now that I've found the tonic note, the key, and the mode of a song, what chords are available to pick from and then match up with a melody?